xQc believes there's another reason behind Brew's ban other than spam reporting. There's no such thing as spam reporting. Your rage, lie. I guess there was a recent change within the last 6 months. I've literally been banned 3 times, all reversed in the future for a mistake on their end. Both my partner manager and people working with Twitch would tell me it was an influx of reports. Let me tell you what it is. I think xQc is wrong on this. And I think a lot of top female content creators even, and most female content creators, black content creators, will tell you that it's a very different experience, especially if they are not the tippy top of the top dogs. Let's watch this. Let's watch what he had to say.
I've spoken with Twitch staff extensively, especially with Twitch staff at moderation, okay? And spam reports are not a thing yet. I've been shown that spam reports that actually end up being a ban on Twitch are not a thing yet. I've been told and showed that it's a myth and it's not possible.
xQcl, love you.
It doesn't happen. Nope. There are no times where it can.
No, he's wrong. Here's why he's wrong. There are hundreds of thousands of content creators on this platform, and not every single content creator on this platform has a dedicated, working, very active partner manager. I, myself, am one of the people who does. xQc is also, understandably, one of the people who does. So we get spam reported all the fucking time. The reason why we don't get clapped immediately and instantaneously in what it seems like an otherwise automated process is because we have a level of control over that. Not control, rather, but like we have a level of communication. Not every single person, unfortunately, has that capacity because the platform doesn't have that. The platform doesn't have enough working hands to basically look at every single person. So there is definitely if you get an overwhelming amount of spammed mass reports, and people do that all the time in Discords. I get my fucking TikTok banned regularly. You know that. That is literally a thing that happens on TikTok. Okay? Your VOD, if you get mass reported, even when you're me, even when you have someone, even if you're one of the top dogs, even if you get mass reported as one of the top dogs on the platform, your VOD will still be taken off for a second, okay? As it goes to human eyes for some kind of like additional moderation. Okay? That's how that works. Now, if you are not one of the top dogs, though, the platform doesn't know how to manage that. Top dog cope. No, I'm saying like one of the larger content creators, please stop hyper focusing on that. I get Nets DG reported every day, for example. And that is one other way that people try to get you fucking not banned, but at least like stop your VOD from being released in Germany. These guys use this. These guys use any kind of fucking protocol they can. I get hit, ironically, by Nazis regularly who use the anti-Nazi law in Germany. Like, I get it on every one of my VODs. Sometimes it actually hits. Sometimes it hits. Let's say if I'm covering like legitimately, I'm talking about like, something that's spicy. Talking about like how fascists suck or whatever, right? That could technically fall under Nets DG if it gets mass reported enough, and the person looking at it goes, yeah, this does seem like it. This does seem like that's what it is. But isn't Bruce a massive streamer? He averages the same number of viewers as you. Now, here's the funny part about that. Your Rage Gaming. Bruce, drop them off. These guys are big-ass streamers. But they've been big relatively recently. Ironic because if you remember a couple months ago, I talked about how these platforms don't know how to deal with black content creators. And what I mean by that isn't necessarily like, oh, they don't know, like black content creators get like unruly or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. They don't know that there is a different kind of moderation that you need to engage with because black content creators have different kinds of hate watchers, just like political content creators have different kinds of hate watchers. It has taken me many, many years of communicating with Twitch over the course of many years for them to understand what mass reporting looks like, what like clips out of context look like, what kind of tactics the right wing uses. And that's because I'm a political content creator. I'm white, but I'm a political content creator. So I have a different set of haters that are going to behave in a very different way. Okay? Same goes for black content creators who are going to have sometimes, ironically, the same kinds of haters that I have, and female content creators as well. But when you're also in the when you're also at the top, like you're just gonna have people randomly fucking mass target you regardless. xQc says shit all the time that I'm sure draws a lot of ire from people who are like, fuck this guy, I hate him, he's eating his toenails, I want to fucking end him, I want to end his career, I want to get him banned, right? They do that, but because of his status on the platform, I'm sure people look at it a little bit more with a little bit more scrutiny. Do you get it? Whereas I feel like Bruce and I feel like Your Rage and all these other content creators are, one, relatively new in being big content creators, and two, have a different level of have a different level of care that is implemented by the platform. In some instances, not even deliberately. I'm sure xQc gets Nets DG daily too. Every ban is carried out by a human, but that doesn't mean the human is actually verifying or legitimizing the reason. This is from every single staff I've known, past or present, 11 years. I don't doubt mass reports cause bans, but they're ultimately carried out about a person. Whether or not the reason is legit, a person says yes or no. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I think unless you are carefully communicating why these things are happening, like why you're being mass reported for a particular thing, to moderation teams and whatnot. Mauser Silent Solutions, thank you for the 69 tier 1 gifted subs, by the way. Holy shit, 69. So he is right, it's not automated? No. When it gets over a certain number of mass reports, there is something that happens to your VOD regardless. If you ultimately get banned, someone looked at it and someone decided, yeah, let's go with the ban. The moderation rules are kept under lock and key. Other Twitch staff don't know what moderation works or how moderation works within the company, for the record. They do it deliberately. They hide it on purpose, okay? And they also kind of keep it vague deliberately as well. What is this? For the Bruce Jobamon, for the Nets DG shit. Yeah, I get reported like this all the fucking time too. This is why the system for banning is fucked though. If you get banned for something else, then what the reports were for the data is fucked and you won't know the reason. It's so scuffed. Yeah. Even if there is someone who fucking manually reviews it, sometimes they just see the overwhelming amount of bans. There's two different things here. One, they auto lock your VOD if you get like over a certain point, right? They auto lock your VOD if you get over a certain amount of fucking ban reports. I've seen it. It's happened to me. NetsDG, if it kicks in, NetsDG is a separate one though. Okay. NetsDG is a separate type of VOD locking mechanism. But they auto lock your VOD if it goes over a certain amount. I don't know what the exact fucking number is. I don't know how it works. I don't know what triggers it, but it's happened to me. I know it works like that. Okay? Then after that, someone reviews it. But in the review process, if in the review process they look at like an overwhelming amount of fucking mass reporting, that probably factors into their consideration. And they don't even think about it like, oh, these are fucking, racist assholes who are doing this on purpose, right? and they think these are like legitimate people, you know, thousands of them that are mass reporting this person. Well, that probably factors into their consideration. They don't even think about it like, who's this person? What's their background? There's a lot more nuance and a lot more context that needs to be added in when you make these decisions, which is precisely what I've talked about with respect to black content creators on the platform literally months ago. I can't remember where the fuck it was. I don't know if anyone can find that from one of the VODs. Some of you got to remember this. I literally talked about how this is an issue. And I think it was when we were talking about like, was it with Ludwig? When I was talking with like Ludwig, it was around that same time. Oh, it was Corey. Yes, it was the Corey Kenshin situation. No, it wasn't Fear N. Let's see. Kenshin. Racism and Favoritism by Corey X Kenshin. When I talked about like it's not even a malicious racism, but it's negligence and a lack of having like, you know, black people working in different parts of the company. What? Hasan hates xQc? Fuck this guy. I hate him. He's eating his toenails. I want to fucking end him. I want to end his career. I want to get him banned. You fucking assholes, dude. More black drone pilots? Brother, that's crazy. We're talking about fucking... This is fundamentally annoying whenever we talk about something like this. Bro, it's not the fucking same. I'm not talking about like petty representation, dude. Jesus Christ. It's the same as like in medicine, yes. Exactly. Jesus Christ, man. What's wrong with these longtime subs? They just don't understand. They don't get it. They literally think it's like, oh, what? Oh, you mean like black drone pilots? Like, no, a drone pilot and what the drone pilot does is fundamentally different than like a company having content moderation, okay? It's more like having black coders, for example, okay? Black engineers. Why is that important? Because that way, when you do a fucking, you know, automatic like hand sanitizer or whatever, then it also interacts with black skin. That's one example that I can immediately think about. You know what I mean? Because if none of the engineers are black, they don't even think about that. And it's not even like malicious. It's not like, oh yeah, I want to make sure that like our automatic hand sanitizer dispenser is like racist towards black people. They don't even think about that. They're like, well, everyone I know has the same skin tone, right? So they don't even think that like that's a necessity. And only when it's like mass released into the public, you realize like, oh shit, why the fuck is this not working for black people? What the fuck? Well, that's what happens when you don't have like one black guy in the fucking room that goes, wait, hold up. Let me try this out real quick. AI trained on pre-existing data is inherently racist, not malicious per se. It's just a consequence of systematic racism. Yes. Perfect example is no big clothes in Japan. Thank you. You're right. Apple does the same thing with overexposing / overlighting black people in their photo software. You mean like this? Google apologizes for Photos app's racist blunder. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. I did not even know this. What the fuck is this? This is from 2015? That seems fucking nasty and deliberate. Just hire the most qualified person. No one is saying don't hire the most qualified person. But what people don't realize is like there's plenty of black people who are qualified, right? If anything, even more qualified than others in this circumstance, because like when it comes to moderation, there's going to be a different set of expectations there. Anyway, people do have the capacity to understand this. When you fucking change the CEO from Susan Wojcicki over at YouTube to a guy who loves NFTs, you're like, wait a minute, why the fuck did you get the NFT guy on YouTube to be the CEO? Well, he has a great set of, his resume looks good to the minds of all these other executives. But does he have skin in the game? Does he know what a YouTube, what like best practices for YouTube looks like? Possibly not, but his resume looks good. That's the most qualified motherfucker that they hired. Sometimes it's best not to hire the most qualified on paper motherfucker, because the most qualified person could possibly be someone who understands the platform a little bit better and isn't trying to fucking squeeze every ounce of fucking capital out of you by, making idiotic fucking moves that look good to the shareholders, but not necessarily great for the consumers themselves. Right? Sometimes it is the most qualified person. Even if on paper, on a resume, if a black candidate doesn't have the same level of qualifications as a white candidate, let's say, they might be more qualified for that position, specifically because of the diverse background and the diverse ideas that they present. Even this is precisely the reason why even fucking capitalists recognize that companies with a more diverse board of executives unironically yield better fucking returns on investment. That's like not me saying that. That's like capitalists. They've recognized that too. I wonder why, because it's like consumers are diverse. So when you can target a more diverse audience and have more lived experience from that diverse audience, you end up making better products for everybody and you end up making more money. Do you get it? Obviously, man, that's why I was writing in alternating caps to show the obvious sarcasm. No, I know you were. I know. I'm just describing it because it is a very common thing that people say. Does it make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Anyway, I did talk about this specifically in regards to like.
Now, having said that, before you move on to Logan Paul and before you move on to anything else, okay?
Bro, I look so much older there. It's crazy. Your hair and your beard definitely change everything.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not talking about like oh yeah, we hired like a black CEO. So the company that does like the company that murders children in Yemen is now doing like children murder in Yemen, but this time with a black CEO. That's not what we're talking about. Do you get it? Do you understand? It's not like the fucking stupid, silly, pandering displays of like appealing to diversity. Ketanji Brown Jackson is a great example. I think as far as like Supreme Court justices goes, she's incredibly qualified. I would say that her unique background makes her more qualified than every other Supreme Court justice we've had in contemporary U.S. history. But she didn't get hired for that. Even if the processes got her to that degree or got her to that consideration, Joe Biden said, I want a black woman, Jack. And that's fucked up. That's the really weird part about this, is that even though she is literally incredibly qualified for that fucking position, right? Given her background, given her experience, only first ever public defender, right? Like all of this stuff, she has all the merits, and yet it's easier to sell her as just a black woman, which ends up trivializing the process because Democrats are fucking idiotic. Okay, but that's a good example to use here. She is one of the most qualified people for that position. Okay? Her being black even actually adds into the qualification because that gives a unique perspective that is good to have on the Supreme Court, especially because, fucking Clarence Thomas, holy shit. Clearly not in the interest of like improving black people's lives in any meaningful capacity. So she was qualified, but then she was sold as like a black woman, and that was it. right? So yeah, there's a lot to say about this subject. There's oh my God, I'm being punished. I'm being punished. Being punished by gods. Ow. I just directly hit my fucking elbow on my funny bone. I don't know what it is. Oh no, fuck. Okay, let's get started.
Oh, every single video that he went through. I didn't look through every single video that he went through to see if the depiction of suicide was in all of those other videos that he's referencing. Okay? It would be an important thing, but there is more to this. That would be important to find out. But there's more to this because there was at least one person that he found that was a sizable content creator that had not been age restricted, despite having that exact same scene.
Age restricted just because I'm talking about it. So I looked at that part.
Stop saying letting him explain. I've already watched this video. I'm doing a YouTube video describing to you and moderation controversies. Now, I don't know enough about Markiplier to speak on this, but I have talked to other YouTubers. I've talked to other people about this. The reason why Markiplier gets dragged, point that it's happening here as well. Why? Because there's favoritism. However, in this circumstance, the question that Corey poses is racism also a factor? He mentions certain things, especially after he gets upset. He has a certain set of questions which I think are pretty adequate, especially because YouTube goes, "Hey, sorry, but we fucked up," which pisses him off further.
He was excited.
There.
And they removed it. Now, my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh, great. This is awesome. Look, Corey, they took the age restriction off.
A platform that is not racist would 1,000,000% turn around and deal with that shit immediately. But YouTube turned a blind eye to it because it was growing as a platform and it wanted to keep growing as a platform.
I gotta pee. I'll be back.
For that reason, they didn't care enough. That negligence is still racist.
This is when I was talking about how the alt-right was growing on YouTube and how YouTube basically allowed it to continue to flourish because they wanted to grow as a platform, and they realized that like radicalizing content meant more eyeballs and more time spent on the site itself. Okay?
When you have that level of awesome power and you don't do anything about it and you abdicate your responsibility, okay? That's it. You're not doing a good job. You are still participating in racist outcomes. Why is JonTron bad? A lot of people don't know this. JonTron was another person who was in the alt-right rabbit hole. I think he still is probably. I don't really care because he's kind of irrelevant. But yes, JonTron was very much one of those fucking dudes. Like very, very racist. He even had, he even went so far as to say just completely made up shit. Like rich black people do more crime than poor white people. Like he was just trying. He was one of those types of racists. Okay. When you're a platform like YouTube, you have a certain set of responsibilities. When you see the next generation, the upcoming generation turn straight up right wing, and have like some of your top content creators in the space, in the essayist space, collaborate with some of the top content creators on the platform itself, are 2 degrees removed from like literal fucking neo-Nazis, like Lauren Southern went and worked with actual out and about neo-Nazi groups like Identity Europa to try to stop migrant ships from coming into Europe, like physically stop a treacherous trip for said migrants on fucking pontoons and shit that is already deadly. Okay? You're basically offering a platform to Nazis when you don't do anything about it. Okay? They tweaked it to feature more marginalized views. Used to be all roads led you to the most popular vids called Gangnam Style Problem. So they mixed in less popular vids, which led to far right vids. Algo tweak happened just before the.
Okay, look. My point is, this is too long and too convoluted. But like, even when it's a human being that's interacting with the fucking mass reports, even when there's a real human being behind it, they're not able to comprehend the full context, especially if they don't have the knowledge of like, being a black content creator in general. Not to say that like Twitch's moderation team has 0 black people. I don't fucking know. Maybe they do. Okay. But this is going to inevitably be a problem, or is going to be a problem on YouTube. I talk about it extensively. I don't know where the fuck it is, but I talked about it in this video itself. Okay. When I was talking about Corey Kenshin and favoritism, when I talked about the rise of black content creators on the platform, this was months ago, 6 months ago, when I said there is going to be a new set of problems that they face that white content creators are not going to experience or understand, okay? And that is going to be an otherizing component that is created by negligence, a system of negligence, and that negligence is still, relatively racist. Okay? I think that Rage and Bruce getting this like reverse favoritism base, maybe that's a better way to describe it. Reverse favoritism is the best example. It's not done deliberately. It's not done nefariously. It's done because it's such a normal, ingrained part of our existence that it happens in every facet of our existence, right? Your Rage is a streamer. Oh, he said, ooh, when XQc visit a Japanese hospital, my Rage? What do you mean in reverse? Your Rage is a streamer, chatter. It's not necessarily that like moderation specifically is saying like fuck black content creators, but a lack of black content creators caused by systemic reasons for a very long time means that, especially in the earlier stages of black content creators gaining prominence on a platform like Twitch, is going to have some growing pains. Growing pains like a new set of expectations and a new set of like targeting that they experience. And if you don't have someone who comes from that background with an understanding of that kind of thing, okay, you're not going to be able to deal with it adequately. You're not going to be able to parse through what is fake, what's a false report, and what's a real report. I'll tell you this much, like my Cracker ban, for example, is a great example of this. It's a great example because outside of like that one moment where, I got banned for it, and outside of like subreddits, not even all of Reddit, but like certain subreddits, that's a laughable ban. Media covered it in laughable terms. They thought it was fucking hilarious that Twitch banned one of their larger content creators for saying the word cracker, calling someone a cracker. Right? Why did they do it? Well, they did it because there was manufactured outrage surrounding it. And if there's enough smoke, then Twitch operates like there's fire. And sometimes, or in many instances, especially if you're a female content creator, especially if you're a political content creator, and certainly if you're a black content creator, there's going to be manufactured outrage surrounding what you are doing, and that will motivate people to take action because on paper it'll look like you are doing something that's violating the rules. Leniency is something that a lot of people experience without even recognize that they're experiencing it. Top content creators on the platform, myself included, and xQc as well, get leniency without even recognizing that we're getting leniency. Because if it was just like hardcore, you fucking violate a rule ever, You're done. You're gone in the same way that other content creators are getting. Okay? This would be uninhabitable. This platform would be uninhabitable. No one would be fucking streaming. Do you get it? Because everybody violates the rules all the fucking time. There's supposed to be like, there's a reason why there's humans behind the moderation decisions. If there wasn't, then it would be like fucking TikTok. You know what I mean? Enough people mass report and ban you. TikTok will ban you. They'll take no action. They'll just go, all right, people don't like this guy. He must be racist. Boom. That's why TikTok banned me in the first day of Black History Month for a MLK quote. Sorry, it wasn't an MLK quote. It was me describing Black Lives Matter. Because enough people fucking said, no, this is racist. And the fucking algo doesn't have any way of understanding the nuance and just goes, boom, banned. A good example of these growing pains is the N-word on streaming and chat. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, exactly. Black content creators say the N-word. Black chats in predominantly black audiences, they say the N-word in the chat. But that, especially when you don't know who's black and who's not black, you just have no idea. If they were saying it here, even if you are a black chatter, which by the way, ironic because like long-term community members who are black have made jokes about this before because we like ban them unconditionally. It doesn't matter, right? There used to be fucking memes in the community about it where they'd be like, chatters would prove that they're black after getting banned, and it doesn't matter. We still ban you for saying the N-word in the chat. I remember you saying, I know you are black. Everyone else does not. Exactly. No, you can't. You can't say it. You will get banned. Please look at my chat history. I feel like I describe this perfectly. Thanks, man. Take 30 seconds off, King. Anyway. And it's happening now. The thing that I said was going to happen is finally it's been happening, and it's happening more prominently now because the content creators that are getting banned for it are larger content creators. It's growing pains. I think it'll be better in the future. But part of the platform becoming better in that regard is, and I know this is like the worst fucking subject matter to discuss because people are not going to be charitable to me, especially a anti-white racist personally. And they're not going to be charitable because like a lot of people are like, well, what do you mean? You want leniency for black people by virtue of them being black? Fuck you. Like they get to have a different set of expectations. It's no different than like people thinking that female content creators get more leniency. You know what I mean? So I know I'll get my ass eaten in the fucking QRTs, but ultimately it is different. And it does stem from a place of like it does come from a place of not like malicious negligence. It's not even like people recognizing that they're doing it, but it's people capitulating to manufactured outrage in most instances, specifically manufactured outrage on Reddit that forces them to take these decisions that, if you were to remove yourself, if you were to remove your horse blinders from, you'd recognize as like laughable. It's laughable to ban someone for saying cracker, for example. Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, same
So
for me
what,
too.
Man? Jack, I actually lied. I lied. I said I was getting those every day. Okay.
Yo.
Yeah, I get him twice, 3 times a day sometimes. Yeah. It's the same. We don't even talk about it usually because like you don't want to talk about it usually because like you don't even want to give them fucking any satisfaction of recognizing it, but it like doesn't work. It literally doesn't even work for the most part.
I get multiple every day. I get multiple. Yes, so whatever he showed there, I get multiple one of these every day, but I don't get banned.
Well, he didn't get banned for it either, I don't think. Wait, did Bruce get banned for that? Yeah, action taken, none. That doesn't mean he got banned for NetsDG. NetsDG doesn't ban you anyway. NetsDG is geo-locks your VOD. I think he got banned for the you know, the piece of paper and the box of crackers. Spam reporting 13 fucking times today. Decided to ban me for holding a piece of paper up and a box of crackers. Yeah. I think that people see that as doubling down, and Twitch has already set a baseline that like it's racist when it's fucking ridiculous. He said he got hit with 13 NetsDG reports. Yeah. NetsDG is not the reason why Bruce got banned. NetsDG is like one of the many different avenues that they're targeting. But yeah, getting hit with 13 NetsDG violations in one stream implies that there is mass targeting happening. I think that's valid. Yeah. And when you get fucking mass reported and you got banned previously for anti-white racism and they mass report you again and they brigade you for anti-white racism, you're going to get banned again. I don't think it's valid to ban him over that. Straight up. I think it's stupid as fuck to ban him over that. Okay? I think it is stupid as fuck to ban any content creator over the utilization and usage of the word cracker. Okay? No matter how much people go, oh man, like that's crazy. I can't believe you're, I can't believe you're being anti-white racist. Like, no, that's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous, laughable notion. Okay? I said it before. I will say it again. It's so fucking stupid. And to be real, it's no different than banning someone for, using the term, not cracker, Karen, redneck, hillbilly, honky. Saying this guy's a fucking honky should not get you banned. That's crazy. Saying this lady's being a fucking Karen should not get you banned. If we can understand that those terms are not fucking slurs. Yeah. JD Vance has to change his name of his book to the H-word elegy. Can't believe JD Vance talked about hillbillies. What the fuck? For the record, you guys can still get banned because there's no context. There's no nuance there. Okay? That is my take on the matter. That's my component on the drama. And yes, if you think that like Bruce doesn't have a fuckload of people up his ass, what is this one? If you think that Bruce doesn't have a fuckload of people up his ass in the aftermath of him getting banned originally for his cracker saga, you're out of your mind. Straight up. Yeah, he's being mass targeted. I think Twitch should be more lenient. Remember when we saw that video calling obese a slur? It was fun times. Yeah, it's so fucking stupid.